All right, Shalom. First off, all praises, admiration, honor, and glory go to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and sincerity, which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers. And Shalom to the ones that endured his faith until the very end, until the time of Jacob's troubles, which are, again, the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and the few sisters. All right, so Shalom. To the ones that aren't, bug outs like this one, right? Because even the elder, I'm doing a response, pretty much off of the elder here of Baltimore, Holy Bible Defenders, right? His other channel is, the Biblical Defenders, right? Even he was talking about this last night. We're coming at times of, serious prayer, right? And spiritual warfare, right? Because this goes towards any last one of us, right? Because any of us can easily bug out like this, right? And pretty much this Jake, as you can tell by, the title even, right? He believes that he's King David, right? And now he's starting a whole angry rant on, the elders that, that kicked him out because he was being weird, right? That's a weird mindset. Telling all he's King David, right? And first off, man, it's not even really much to say on this, man. In fact, I even looked back at his original video, and now if you try to search his video up, I even tried to look into history, it's not even there, and I used the link that was sent, and it says the video was removed by the uploader, right? So he took down his own video. His whole live stream that he did, he took it down now because, everybody see, that's what you call a butthurt Jake, right? That's Jake that gets hurt, that has many different demons on him, right? That's what you call a legion of demons, right? That's put upon them, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, right? Because the Lord can easily have any of us turn out like this Jake. And there's a lot of Jake in Israel that turn out just like him, right? They start bugging the hell out their mind, right? They start believing in, either different doctrines or their own delusions, right? Start telling lies and then they start believing in their own lies. So this is Matthew 22. Usually it's 22 and verse 9, but in fact, we'll read down. It says, I'll start at 11. It says, and when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment, right? This is pretty much going into, when it said, go ye therefore out into the highways, and as many as ye shall find bid to the marriage, right? Which is coming together, right? They found both bad and good, right? And the wedding was, furnished. But it says there was one that didn't have a wedding garment, right? Now, in times like today, things that would turn physical are spiritual, right? Not everybody has to come up, who want to learn the truth has to have a garment on right away, right? You got other camps that be like, where your beard at? Or why you got a lineup? Or, that's what Paul, was talking about, you don't have to automatically be, on point, on set, like one of those toy soldiers, right? But in these times, man, you have to come as a little child, right? As Yahweh Shah said, you got to have that spiritual wedding garment on, right? And that's, having the yearn to understand, right? A clean ear, right? A circumcised ear, not Jeremiah 6 and 10. So it says, he saith unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless, right? So let's say he was speechless. He didn't have a wedding garment. It says, then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away and cast him into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? So he didn't have the wedding garment when he was supposed to. Now, again, this is spiritual today, man. You got to have that spiritual cloak, that spiritual wedding garment, the yearn to understand and to learn the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? To have humility, right? It says, for many are called, but few are chosen. So many are called, but few are chosen. And you can see clearly that Jake, man, it was called for a bit, but he wasn't chosen, right? Some would come in and a lot will fall out, right? There would be, throughout time, man, there's going to be a lot of, Jake coming in. It's going to be a lot of Jake falling out, man, because the Lord is sending the spirit of separation, not upon just households, man, but upon camps, right? Upon your own brethren, right? Because a lot of Jake, again, is going to start bugging out just like that one. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and 28. It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Right? So the Lord is going to smite a lot of Jake with madness. And clearly that dude was smitten with madness. Talking about the Lord was revealing things, through his third eye, through his mind. Right? And it said, now I guess he just woke up and said, well, I'm King David now. and King Mashah, and I'd seen all my past lives and things that were not recorded in the scriptures, right? That's smitten with madness. That's the type of Jake that you gotta watch out for, man. But at the same time, that's a wake up call, right? Not just for me, but anybody, man, because the answer will always be nobody has prayed enough, man. We gotta pray more and more and more, right? Because again, seeing shit like that can happen to any last one of us. That can happen to anybody. Just start bugging the hell out. Wake up one day and start saying, I don't know, I'm so and so, or I'm just tired. Right? There was Jake that was even in this camp that said, just one day said, I'm tired, and fell out. The Lord is nothing to be played with, man. The Lord will put the spirit on anybody, to do things that is unimaginable. So, by the Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kahakodash, and Shalom.